Hello everybody, we are here with TobiWan, the most popular caster probably when it comes to hype at LAN events. And how much hype is in this stadium right now?
A fair amount of it, probably about 10,000 amount of it. It's pretty cool, man.
You've just casted your first match and it was a pretty close series, probably closer than most of us expected. Can you describe the atmosphere in the stadium and how it feels casting in front of such a huge crowd?
The funny thing is you actually don't feel much of the atmosphere up where the casters are because you don't see any of the crowd. You're not in the middle of the crowd. But you can definitely feel it behind you. And like that kind of goes nuts. And whenever Mousesports got a kill, like you could definitely feel the crowd getting excited about it. It felt very biased. It felt very, very biased. But it was good.
Were you actually surprised by how well Mousesports did against the favorites from China, basically, IG?
Not really. Mousesports ran a strat which was very high risk, high reward. So we kind of knew what was going to happen with it. In game number 1, it could have actually paid off a lot better. In game number 2, it did pay off. But yeah, the problem was in game number 3, they tried to play a lot more standard kind of style because I thought, you know, just going to get through this one game, we'll pick up what we feel is OP kind of style, and it didn't pay off for them because that played to IG's strength because their team fighting and positioning was really just perfect.
So right now there's Fnatic playing against VG. They are far ahead, and again the crowd is very biased because a European team against a Chinese team, of course we are cheering for the European teams. Do you think a European team will win this event?
Right now, it's impossible to say. Dota is so difficult to predict these days just because like anything can happen during the drafting phase. One kill changes the complete momentum of the game, and that can also switch back again. So it's very difficult to impossible to predict the Dota. But I would say a Chinese team could win it. If it's going to be one, like IG, VG, and like that easily be possible. Like I'll put my money on VG though.
All right.
Even though they're having a really, really hard time right now, and they're not playing the Dota I know they can play, I would back VG.
Skywrath Mage OP?
Skywrath Mage isn't fully OP, but he's definitely up there. It's just because they're not used to playing against it properly.
So you've been to Dreamhack just 2 weeks ago, and you are here now. Then there was the summit as well, so we have many LANs right now just before the international with such a big prize pool. How do you feel about it? Is it a good thing for the teams? Is it a bad thing? Or how would you see it with so many tournaments just before the international?
It's a little column A, a little column B. Like most of the time, meta means nothing once the international starts because you save a lot of strats for that kind of time. And some people like reveal some strats which you didn't want to have revealed beforehand. So it's not really a bad thing. I think players just have to learn to have a little bit more stamina and survive longer through tournaments. I know in saying that, like their schedules are pretty damn hectic, so it's up to the organizers to make sure there is still some downtime that the teams can take. That's the thing as a community we have to be able to do for them.
If you compare this event to Dreamhack, is there anything you would point out what is really better, or can you compare them to?
You can't compare the two. This is a full stadium for one game, where Dreamhack is everything for everyone. It's BYOC, it's eSports, it's marketing, it's everything at Dreamhack. This is eSports, and just eSports, and that's what makes ESL One what it is.
Can you see Dota 2 in the future, like in 10 years from now, always fill stadiums like this?
Oh, 100%. I was actually doing another group before, and they asked me the question. It was like, did you think like 10 years ago you'd be at this point? And I answered back then, yes. I actually fully believe that we would reach a level of esports that we're at now. And I know that this is only the first step. This is like the start of where our professional scene begins. It's going to get bigger.
So I know you just said that predicting is really hard, but if you had to put your money on one team, who do you think will come off as the winner here?
In this one, Alliance. My money is actually going to be on Alliance just because I feel like they're coordinating and they're communicating and drafting a lot better than they ever have in the past. Ever since Dreamhack, I've changed my opinion on them.
Talking about Alliance, they just announced that Winter is starting to coach them for here and for the international as well. We have Fear coaching Evil Geniuses, and other teams don't have a coach. Do you think this is a huge factor in Dota and this should be the future?
It's a factor that should have always been there. Like every major team will have a coach. Every major team will have a 6-man roster, or like should have a 6-man roster. like, there's just things which teams should have always had, but never had because there weren't enough resources, there weren't enough people to do it, and there weren't enough people with enough experience to do it either. And now all of these things are becoming available. So yes, coaches and more should be involved in each team.
Okay, then as a last question, something more further away from the stadium. There's been a little drama in the scene with Fnatic and ERA going to the international. Is there anything you want to add or comment on this situation? I know there's been a lot of said already from Fnatic, from Valve. Is there your opinion? Do you want to state them anything?
No, I don't think I need to get involved. Like, it's something which really should have just been between Fnatic and Valve.
You got 30 seconds to say anything. You can flame Capitalist who's just casting, you can flame me, or anybody, you can shout out just anything you want.
I would say shout out to Capitalist, who's actually doing a really good job up on stage right now. It's his first major event and he's handling it with some class. And of course, follow me, Twitter, TobiWan, and Facebook, same thing. Yeah, I make it easy. I keep you entertained. Thanks for watching me.
Thank you for your time and have fun.
Will do. Wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope you guys are having fun with the interviews and shit.
Yeah, it's actually quite fun.